On today's IRS tax update, as we are less than 1 week away from the start of the official tax season, we will check in on the latest developments as more viewers are reporting that their tax returns have been accepted by the IRS. Meanwhile, we will also take a look at the latest with the proposed child tax credit increase that would apply to tax returns filed this year and holds on all tax refunds claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit until mid-February. And an important reminder for those of you who received interest payments from the IRS for late refunds received last year, and why you will want to wait to file this year until you receive a key tax document. Now, with the tax season officially scheduled to start in less than a week, the IRS is continuing to test their systems in preparation for the season ahead, and is proceeding with batch testing where they will actually accept a limited amount of early tax returns to confirm their systems are in fact working properly. We have already had a number of viewers indicate the IRS has accepted their tax returns, and that is going to be expected in some cases. However, the IRS will not begin to process those tax returns until at least January 29th, and there will be no refunds issued in the month of January from tax year 2023 returns. For those early filers, once the system goes live, you can expect to see the following message as seen here, indicating the IRS cannot provide any information about your refund. Now, this is perfectly normal to see in the early days of the tax season and is no cause for concern. We also have been getting reports of tax filers already calling the IRS for an update after receiving an error message when checking their refund status results. Now, if you receive an error message before January 29th, that also is normal to see because the IRS system is not fully operational, and we remind tax filers to not call the IRS inquiring about tax returns filed before the official filing period begins. Turning to the proposed increase and extension of the child tax credit, as we have a number of viewers waiting for an update. As we reported last week, the proposal did pass the first required vote, and now needs to be voted on by the full House of Representatives. As of this recording, that vote is expected to take place next week, which would be after the official start of the tax season. If it passes the second vote which is expected, it then is forwarded to the Senate for their approval. So, the question ultimately remains for those claiming CTC is whether or not to file early or possibly wait several weeks for possible approval of the credit increase. Now, considering the IRS will not begin to process any claims for the child tax credit or earned income tax credit until mid-February due to federal law, it may be worth waiting an additional week or two to see what changes occur. We do give this recommendation because if the CTC proposal does pass, it is not clear how those tax filers impacted by the changes will end up receiving that additional amount in their tax refunds. Either the IRS will do an automatic adjustment on the tax return for early tax filers, which may result them needing to send out the difference in an additional refund later on, either by direct deposit or check, or there is the possibility they would require the tax filer to file an amended tax return, which is not going to be well received, and could take the tax filer additional months to receive that refund difference. For those of you who file early and are claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit or Child Tax Credit, you can expect to see this message when checking the status of your refund on the IRS website until mid-February. The message will remind taxpayers that due to federal law as a result of the PATH Act, the IRS cannot process your return and issue your tax refund until at least mid-February. You will start to see updates to your refund status results and tax transcripts around the middle of the month. But the IRS has already stated that the first batch of refunds associated with those credits will be issued on February 27th, and based on previous years, the vast majority of those associated refunds for early filers will be released the first week of March via direct deposit or paper check, depending on your refund preference. Now, a reminder for those of you viewers who received more than $10 in interest from the IRS last year due to a late tax refund, that the IRS is currently sending out 1099 INT forms as a result. Due to tax laws, interest received is taxable and must be reported on your taxes. So as we see a rush of people filing their taxes early this year, it is always a good reminder to wait until at least the end of January before filing to ensure you have received all tax documents, whether it is an interest form from the IRS or tax form from an employer, former employer, other business. Income that is not reported is often a cause of tax refund delays, as the IRS computer system will often catch a discrepancy in processing. It also can lead to adjusted tax refunds as a result. Also, a reminder for those who have opted to receive a direct deposit refund and have discovered they entered the wrong bank account number when filing their taxes, that once the IRS accepts the tax return, they are unable to change that account number. We already have had one case where an early tax filer reported they discovered the wrong account information was entered and was inquiring on how to change it. Now, once the return is processed and refund is issued, it will be sent to the bank account number listed on the tax return. When it is sent to an invalid bank account or closed bank account, the bank in question will then return it to the IRS, at which point the IRS will generally reissue that refund in the form of a paper check to be mailed out usually within 3 to 4 weeks. However, last year some taxpayers waited closer to 6 weeks to receive. The IRS will also mail out this letter, also known as the CP53 notice, indicating they were unable to issue that refund via direct deposit and will send out a paper check instead. Do make sure the IRS does have your correct address on file to avoid even further delays. Let us know in the comments section below about your ongoing tax issue. In the meantime, we will keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.